Hello, ladies and gentlemen. As each day passes through, it is now heading you towards your final exams. Someone said in his comments, "Thank you so much for teaching Zimbabweans. I don't take this blessing for granted. I know as I post a video on this platform, everyone, everywhere is going to benefit. Whether you are in Harare, Bulawayo, Beitbridge, Kariba, Mutare, Masvingo, Kwekwe, Gweru, South Africa, Botswana, Mozambique, receive my warm love and best wishes. As you listen to this video, I pray that spirit of fear and failure is paralyzed and destroyed. Success is reigning in you. You will understand all the concepts the Holy Spirit is going to bring into remembrance all you have studied. Whether you are sitting for the first time or supplementing, receive my warm love and my best wishes. Every practice question we are going to revise today is a step closer to success. Your hard work and dedication will pay off. Believe in yourself and your abilities. Stay focused, stay calm, and trust the process. You are capable of achieving your goals. November 2024 candidates, go out there and make yourself proud. Let's get started. I just picked a past exam question paper randomly because concepts are the same. You just need to master the tips in order to excel. So from this question paper, the first question, it was saying, giving your answer is a common fraction in its lowest terms. Find the value of 3/5 minus 5/9. So what we are going to do here, we need to find the lowest common multiple of the denominators, that is 5 and 9. It is 45. Then we say 5 into 45, we get 9. We multiply it by 3. And then 9 into 45, it is 5. We multiply it by 5. So that we then say 27 minus 25 in order to get 2/45. That is going to be our final answer. And then let us proceed to part B. It is saying 2 divided by 3 and 2/5. So whenever you are dealing with mixed fractions, the first step is that you need to convert that mixed fraction into improper fraction. If we say 3 times 5, we get 15 plus 2, it is going to be 17/5. So it means that we now have 2 divided by 17/5. And when you are dividing fractions, you need to change the division sign into multiplication sign, and then you invert, so that 5 is going to be your numerator and 17 is going to be your denominator. And then we say 2 times 5, you get 10. 1 times 17, you get 17. So the final answer is going to be 10/17. So as you are preparing for your maths paper 1, make sure that you can operate fractions, decimals, and percentages. You are capable of doing all the operations, that is division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. And also you can do the same to the decimals, and also you can convert from fractions to decimals, decimals to percentages, etc. Let us proceed to number 2. Number 2, it was a question on approximation. You should be prepared to answer in question on approximation. It can't be a maths paper 1 without a question on approximation. So we have studied approximation since primary school, when we were saying to the nearest tens, to the nearest units, etc. So the concept is still the same. Here it was saying, given that P is equal to 0,0027 times 3,460 over 9.88 plus 23.8 to the power of 2. So what we are going to do here, the question is requiring us to rewrite this expression with each number correct to one significant figure. So if we are saying one significant figure, we mean the first non-zero value, right? So for 0,0027 to one significant figure, we are going to get 0,03 because the first significant figure is 2. We then check on 7, it is greater than 5, so we round up for it to be 0,003. And then for 3,460 to one significant figure, it is going to be 3,000 because the one significant figure is 3. We check on 4, it is less than 5, so we round down. And then 9.88 to one significant figure, we are going to look at that first 8. It is greater than 5. We round up so that we now have 10. And then 23.8, the first significant figure is 2. We check on 3. It is less than 5. So we round down for us to have 20. So it means that on A, we are going to have 0,003 times 3,000 divided by 10 plus 20 to the power of 2. And then the next question, it is then saying estimate the value of P correct to one significant figure. So here, if we say 0,003 times 3,000, we are going to get 9, right? And then 10 plus 20, it is 30. 30 times 30, we get 900. We now have 9 over 900. 9 into 9, 1. 9 into 900, we get 100. And then if we express 1 over 100 in decimals, it is going to be 0,01. And then after that, we then correct that 0,01 to one significant figure. It is going to be still 0,01. So that was all about approximation and estimation. Make sure that you understand that topic as you are preparing for your maths paper 1. Let us proceed to number 3. Number 3, it was a question on indices. It was saying simplify 27x to the power of 6 to the power of 3rd. So here we are going to apply the bracket law of indices. So that to the power of 3rd is going to affect everything that is inside the brackets. So we say 27 to the power of 3rd, we are going to get 3. And then x to the power of 6 times to the power of 3rd, we are going to apply the bracket law of indices. We multiply the powers. 6 times 3rd, we get 2. And then finally we say 3 times x squared in order to get our final answer is 3x squared. And then part B, there was a question that required you to be able to solve an equation that involved indices. It was saying 32 to the power of negative 2/5 is equal to 2 to the power of p, and we are supposed to find the value of p. So what we are going to do here is that we need to rewrite 32 as 2 to the power of 5 so that our bases are going to be the same. When our bases are now the same, we can now equate the powers. And then if we apply the bracket law of indices, we are going to multiply the powers. 5 times negative 2/5, we get minus 2. So it means that our final answer is going to be p is equal to minus 2. So when it comes to indices, it is a frequently examined topic. You should make sure that you understand all the laws of indices and how to apply them. And also you should be able to solve equations that involve indices. So make sure that you perfect that topic as you are preparing for your maths paper 1. Let us proceed to number 4. Number 4, it was a question on standard form. It can't be a maths paper 1 without a question on standard form. Make sure that you perfect this topic. It is saying evaluate 3.25 times 10 to the power of 4 times 10 to the power of negative 6, giving the answer in standard form. So here we need to apply the laws of indices, the multiplication law. multiplication law say that we should add the indices, right? We should add the powers. So we say 3.25 times 10 to the power of 4 plus negative 6. We are going to get our answer is 3.25 times 10 to the power of negative 2. So you should know that when you are expressing numbers in standard form, they are supposed to range from 1 to 9. Already this 3.25 is in the range. It is in the range of 1 to 9. So we are going to leave our answer is 3.25 times 10 to the power of negative 2. And then part B, it is saying 3.25 times 10 to the power of 4 times 10 to the power of negative 6 is a decimal fraction. So here, we obtained 3.25 times 10 to the power of negative 2. So we need to write that in ordinary form first. It is going to be 0,0325, right? And then the question is saying, is a decimal fraction? When we are saying a decimal fraction, it is a fraction whose denominator is raised to the power of 10. For example, here we are going to say 325 over 10,000. Why? Because it is having 4 decimal places after comma, so it is going to be over 10,000. So it means that our answer is going to be 325 over 10,000. But as I was checking, some of the answers, they are just going to leave it as 0,0325. I think all the answers are accepted. And then part C, it is saying is a common fraction in its lowest terms. So what you need to do here is that we obtained our decimal fraction is 325 over 10,000. And then we need to reduce it to its lowest terms. So first I've divided both the numerator and denominator by 5. 325 divided by 5, we get 65. And then 10,000 divided by 5, we get 2,000. And this one, it can be reduced further. If we say 65 divided by 5, we get 13. And then 2,000 divided by 5, we get 400. We can't reduce 13 over 400 further. So it means that this is going to be our final answer. So it is very important to be able to convert from standard form to ordinary form, from ordinary form to standard form, and also be able to do the multiplication, the division, the addition and subtraction of standard form values as you are preparing for your November 2024 Maths Paper 1. Let us proceed to number 5. Number 5, it was saying, state the number of lines of symmetry of an equilateral triangle. So you should know that equilateral triangle is a regular triangle that have three sides which are equal. So if we are talking about number of lines of symmetry of a regular polygon, they are equal to number of sides. So equilateral triangle is going to have 3 lines of symmetry. And then you should also take note that isosceles triangle, it just have 1 line of symmetry. And then part B, there was a question on factorization. This is a frequently examined topic. Make sure that you can factorize the trinomial, the binomials, and quadrilaterals. This one, it was saying 3x cubed minus 12x. So what we are going to do here is we factor out the highest common factor, which is 3x. Then we say 3x cubed divided by 3x, we get x squared. And then 12x divided by 3x, we get minus 4. And then we can see that x squared minus 4 can be factorized further since it is a difference between 2 squares. So we are going to factorize it further so that our final answer is going to be 3x times x minus 2, x plus 2. So as you are preparing for your Maths Paper 1, make sure that you are perfect when it comes to factorization. And then number 6, it was a question on simultaneous equation. You should know that in your November 2024, there's going to be a question on simultaneous equation carrying out 3 marks. This is a frequently examined topic. Make sure that you are perfect when it comes to solve simultaneous equations. There are 2 ways of solving simultaneous equation. In fact, there are 3. The third one of matrices, it is not frequently examined, but there are some times they are going to ask you to solve simultaneous equation using the matrix method, especially in paper 2. So make sure that you understand. But in maths paper 1, we are going to apply the substitution method and also the elimination method. On this one, I applied the elimination method. So I wanted to eliminate y. So I multiplied the first equation by 1 and then the second equation by 2. So that I now have x minus 6y is equal to minus 4. And then if we say 2 times 9x, we get 18x. 2 times 3y, it is 6y. 2 times minus 17, we get minus 34. Then we now need to decide which sign we are supposed to use in order to carry out the elimination of y. So we need a positive sign. If we say x plus 18x, we get 19x. 6y plus 6y, it is equal to 0. And then minus 4 minus 34, we get minus 38. And then after that, we divide both sides by 19, so that our final answer is going to be x is equal to minus 2. And then after that, we then substitute that x minus 2 into n of the equations. Here I substituted it in the first equation, which is saying x minus 6y is equal to minus 4. So on x, I'm going to substitute minus 2. I now have minus 2 minus 6y is equal to minus 4. And then after that, I shift minus 6y to be on the other side, and then minus 4 to be on the other side, and simplify. Minus 2 plus 4, we get 2. We now have 2 is equal to 6y. And then to remain with y, we divide both sides by 6. We now have 2 over 6 is equal to y. And then we reduce it to its lowest terms for us to get our y is 1 over 3. So perfect this topic. Practice more questions on simultaneous equation so that you get all your 3 marks in your maths paper 1. Let us proceed to number 7. Number 7, it was a question on sets. Again, sets is a frequently examined topic in maths paper 1. We are going to see a question on sets, and you're supposed to be able to answer in questions on sets. So this one was requiring us to write the following sets in their simplest form. There's that one which is saying A intersection A complement. So we are saying we need to write the elements that are in A which are not in A. There's nothing like that. We don't have something like that. So this is a null set. And then part B, it is saying A union A prime. What we are saying here is we are combining what is in A and what is not in A. So it means that we are combining everything that is inside the universal set. So we write it simply as the universal set, right? And then part C, it is saying A intersection B. So that is that part which I have first shaded with those horizontal lines, right? And then A intersection B prime. What we are saying we need to shade what is in A only, which are not in B, right? So that is the region I have shaded with those vertical lines. And then when we are saying union, it means that we are combining what is in A intersection B and what is in A intersection B prime. So can you see that we have now shaded the whole set A? So we're just going to write set A. Be prepared to answer in questions on sets. You need to understand the set notation to draw the Venn diagrams and also to understand these set notations. Let us now proceed to number 8. So number 8, it was a question on variation. It is saying it is given that y varies inversely as the square of x minus 1 when y is equal to 2 and x is equal to 2. Find the value of y when x is equal to 4. Whenever you are dealing with variation, the first question is to ask yourself, are you dealing with direct variation or inverse or joint or partial? In this case, we were dealing with inverse variation, so we are going to say 1 over the given variation. So you need to interpret mathematically. We are saying y varies as 1 over x minus 1 squared, right? And then the next step is that we need to introduce an equal and a constant in order to remove that varies sign. So we now have y is equal to k over x minus 1 squared, right? And then we need to find the value of the constant. To find the value of the constant, we need to make k the subject of formula. So we are going to multiply both sides by x minus 1 squared. And then we substitute correctly. On y, we put 2. On x, we put 1. And then after that, we are going to get our k is 2. We now write our equation y is equal to 2 over x minus 1 squared. And then we need to find y. It means that on x we substitute 4. We now have 2 over 4 minus 1 squared, which is 2 over 3 squared. And our final answer is going to be y is equal to 2 over 9. Let us now proceed to number 9. Number 9, it was a question on matrices. It is saying if A is non-singular matrix, simplify A inverse. So you should know that whenever we multiply a matrix by its inverse, we are going to get what is known as identity matrix. Identity matrix is 1 0 0 1. And then part B, it is saying if B is equal to 1 3 5 2 2 6, 2 6, we're supposed to write down the order of matrix B. So here, the first matrix is a 2 by 2. We are saying 2 row by 2 column matrix, which is multiplying a 2 row by 1 column matrix. So the numbers that are in between, they're supposed to be the same, and the order of matrix is going to be determined by those numbers that are going to be at the edge. So it means that the order of matrix B is going to be a 2 row by 1 column matrix. So we are going to leave our answer as 2 by 1. Make sure that you understand matrices because they are frequently examined in Maths paper 1. And then number 10, it was a question on coordinate geometry. Coordinate geometry is a frequently examined topic. Make sure that you are perfect when it comes to coordinate geometry. Here it is saying in the diagram AC is 10 units and BA is parallel to CD. BA is the line y is equal to 3x plus 4. So we are supposed to write down the value of y at C. So here we are saying y is equal to 3x plus 4. Already this equation is in the form y is equal to mx plus c, and c is representing the y-intercept. So it means that here we are going to, on A, we are going to have 0, 4. And we are informed that from A to C, we are having 10 units, isn't it? So from the origin to A, we are having 4 units. And then from origin to C, we are going to move 6 steps downwards, so that our value of y at C, it is going to be -6, right? And then on part 2, it is saying the equation of the line CD, which is parallel to y is equal to 3x plus 4. You need to know that parallel lines, they have equal gradients. So they are going to share that gradient, which is 3. So we write y is equal to 3x. And then that line is crossing y-axis at -6. So we are going to write y is equal to 3x minus 6. And then part B, find the coordinates of point D where the line in part A2 crosses the x-axis. So when it crosses the x-axis, it means that the y value is going to be 0. And we are having our equation as y is equal to 3x minus 6. And then we need to substitute 0 on y, so that we now have 0 is equal to 3x minus 6. And then we need to find the value of x. We are going to shift -6 to be at the other side. It is going to be positive. And then we divide both sides by 3, so that our x is going to be equal to +2. So it means that the coordinate is going to be 2, 0. Because when we are writing the coordinates, we need to start with the x coordinate and then y coordinate. So it means that our final answer is going to be 2, 0. Let us now proceed to number 11. Number 11, it was a question on number bases. Number bases is a frequently examined topic in Maths Paper 1. As you are preparing for your Maths Paper 1, make sure that you really understand how to add and subtract number bases, how to convert from one base to the other. Let us see this question. It was saying 765 base 8 minus 567 base 8. This is the shortest method and easiest method. What we are going to do is, we say 5 minus 7, it can't. So we are going to borrow a base from 6, so that we cancel it. It is now 5, and we add that base on 5. 5 plus 8 is 13. 13 minus 7, we get 6, right? And then if we say 5 minus 6, it can't again. We are going to borrow a base from 7, so that it is now 6. And then we add that base to 5. 5 plus 8, it is 13. 13 minus 6, we get 7. Then finally, 6 minus 5, it is 1. So our answer is going to be 176 base 8. And then part B, express 5 to the power of 3 plus 4 as a number in base 5. So here, we need to first simplify. 5 to the power of 3 is 125. 125 plus 4, we get 129, right? And then to convert from 129 base 10 to base 5, we are going to divide by 5. 5 into 129, we get 25, remainder 4. 5 into 25, we get 5, remainder 0. 5 into 5, we get 1, remainder 0. And then 5 into 1, it is 0, remainder 1. And then we write our answer coming downwards, going upwards, so that our final answer is going to be 1004 base 5. And then finally, convert 13 base 10 to a number in base 2, right? So here we are going to divide 13 by 2. 2 into 13, 6, remainder 1. 2 into 6, 3, remainder 0. 2 into 3, 1, remainder 1. 2 into 1, 0, remainder 1. Then we are going to write our answer coming downwards, going upwards, so that our final answer is going to be 1101 base 2. Let us proceed to number 12. Number 12, it is saying a rectangle is 9.1 centimeters long and 5.7 centimeters wide. Correct to one decimal place. We are supposed to state the least possible width for the rectangle, right? So the least possible width for the rectangle, it is going to be 5.65. Why? If we say 5.65 correct to one decimal place, we get 5.7. So it means that this is going to be the least possible width of the rectangle. And then part B, find the limits within which the perimeter of rectangle lies. First we need to find the least possible perimeter. We are going to say 2 times length plus width. Our least possible length, it is going to be 9.05, and our least possible width, it is going to be 5.65. And then we add, we are going to get least possible perimeter is 29.4 centimeters. And then maximum possible perimeter, we need to find our maximum possible length. It is going to be 9.14, because if we say 9.14 correct to one decimal place, it is going to be 9.1. 5.74 correct to one decimal place, we are going to get 5.7. So here, if we substitute correctly, we are going to get 29.76. So the limits within the perimeter of rectangle lies is going to be 29.4 to 29.76 centimeters. So let us now proceed to number 13. Number 13, it was a question on transformation. You can be examined on transformation. I remember last year in June 2023, there was a question on transformation in Maths Paper 1, carrying out 9 marks. So please, I know most of you, they have attitude towards this topic, but please don't let the marks going, because these days they love to examine transformation, especially in the last questions, carrying out 7 to 9 marks in Maths Paper 1. So be prepared to answer in question on transformation. You should know all the 6 transformation, that is rotation, reflection, enlargement, stretch, shear, and reflection, right? So in translation, so here the transformation, it was rotation. When you are stating about rotation, you need to write the angle of rotation and also direction. Here it was 180 degrees. So 180 degrees, it can be clockwise or unclockwise, right? And then you need also to state about the center of rotation. So the center of rotation, it was about the midpoint of line BC, C1, B1. Let us proceed to number 14. Number 14, it was a question of solving equations. It can't be a Maths Paper 1 without solving equation. Be prepared to solve equation. When we are saying solving equation, you are supposed to find the value of the letter that is given in the question. So here we need to find the value of y. We are having 2y over 3 minus 9 is equal to 0. So what we are going to do here is that we multiply all the terms by 3 in order to have a linear equation. So if we do that, we now have 2y minus 27 is equal to 0. And then we shift minus 27 to be on the other side. It is going to be added. We now have 2y is equal to 27. We divide both the terms by 2, so that our y is going to be 13.5. And then part B, it requires you to be able to solve a trinomial. Here we say x squared times minus 6, we get minus 6x squared. Then we need to look for two factors of minus 6x squared, which when we add, we get minus 5x. It is going to be minus 6x plus 1x. So we are going to rewrite minus 5x is minus 6x plus 1x. We factorize in group. For the first group, we are going to have x times x minus 6. And then for the second group, we are going to have 1 times x minus 6. So that we now have x minus 6, x plus 1 is equal to 0. So either x minus 6 is equal to 0, it implies that x is going to be equal to 6, or x plus 1 is equal to 0, it implies that x is equal to negative 1. So the value of x is going to be 6 or minus 1. Let us proceed to number 15. Number 15, it was a question on similar. It is saying a car manufacturer makes a scale model of one of his real cars. The capacity of the fuel tank of the real car is 64 liters, and that of the model is 0.512 liters. Find the ratio of length of the real car is to the length of the model car. So here we are given the ratio of volume. To find the ratio of length from the ratio of volume, we are going to say it is cube root of ratio of volume. So cube root of 64, it is 4. The cube root of 0.512, it is going to be 0.8. And we need to have our ratio being in whole numbers. So we are going to divide both sides by 0.8, so that the ratio of length is going to be 5:1. And then part B, the area of front window of the model is 0.0484 square meters. Find the area of the front window of the real car. So we now have the ratio of length. We need to find the ratio of area. We are going to square the ratio of length. 5 times 5, 25. 1 times 1, we get 1. So the ratio of area is going to be 25:1. And then we are given the area of front window, which is 0.0484. It is represented by 1. So we need to find the equivalent of 25. So we are going to apply proportion. It is going to be more. We say 25 over 1 times 0.0484 in order to get our area of front window is 1.21 square meters. So understand these ratios: the ratio of length, the ratio of area, and the ratio of volume. Number 16. The first part, it was saying, given that y is equal to m squared minus 4n squared, find the value of y when m is equal to 4 and n is equal to 2. So this question was on substitution. Substitution is a frequently examined topic. Make sure that you understand how to substitute. And when it comes to this, it is very important to know the rules of the signs, that is addition signs and multiplication signs. So here, if we say 4 squared minus 4 times 2 squared, it is going to be 16 minus 16, which is equal to 0. And then part B, it is saying if x over a plus y over b is equal to 1, make x the subject of formula. So here we are going to multiply all the terms by a, b, so that our equation is going to be a linear equation. So if we do that, on first part, ab times x over a, we are going to remain with xa, and then b times y over b times ab, we are going to have YA, and then 1 times AB, we get AB. And then we shift AY to be on the other side. It is going to be subtracted. And then we divide all the terms by A, so that our final answer is going to be X is equal to AB minus AY over A. So make sure that you are perfect when it comes to changing subject or formula. It is a frequently examined topic. And then now let us proceed to number 17. We're having a question on logarithms. Here it is saying evaluate log base 3 of 9. So we are going to let our answer be X. We say log base 3 of 9 is equal to X. And then we are going to remove that log by raising 3 to the power of X in order to get 9. And then we now have to solve that equation that is involving indices. It is saying 3 to the power of X is equal to 9. We need our bases to be the same. We are going to rewrite 9 as 3 to the power of 2. Now that the bases are the same, we can now equate the powers. We say X is equal to 2. And then part B, log base 5 of 1 over 25. We are going to let our answer be X. We say log base 5 of 1 over 25 is equal to X. And then we need to raise 5 to the power of X in order to get 1 over 25. We are then going to rewrite 1 over 25 in index form. It is going to be 25 to the power of negative 1. And then after that, we then rewrite 25 as 5 to the power of negative 2, so that our bases are now the same. We equate the powers. We now say X is equal to negative 2. And then on part C, it is saying log base 29 of 1. We are going to let our answer be X. We say log base 29 of 1 is equals to X. And then to remove the log, we are going to raise 29 to the power of X in order to get 1. And we need to rewrite 1 is 29 to the power of 0. We equate the powers so that our X is going to be equal to 0. So logarithms are frequently examined. You should know the laws of logarithms and also how to evaluate the logs. Let us proceed to number 18. Number 18, it was a question on simple map problem. It is saying on a map, a distance of 20 kilometers is represented by a length of 40 centimeters. The scale of map is 1:n. Calculate the value of n. So here we are going to say 40 centimeters is representing 20 kilometers. We need to convert 20 kilometers into centimeters. 1 kilometer is equal to 100,000 centimeters. What about 20 kilometers? It is going to be 20 times 100,000, which is equal to 2 million. And then we need now to simplify to reduce, so that we divide both sides by 40. We now have 1 is to 50,000. So it implies that n is equal to 50,000. And then part B, the distance between two towns on the map is 70 centimeters. Calculate the actual distance in kilometers between the towns. So we are saying 40 centimeters is representing 20 kilometers. What about 70 centimeters? It is going to be more. So we say 70 over 40 times 20 kilometers in order to get our final answer is 35 kilometers. Let us proceed to number 19. Number 19, it was a question on number patterns. It is saying write down the value of P. So when you follow that pattern, it is going to be 1, 2, 3. So P is going to be definitely 4. We just write 4. We don't write 4 squared. you just write 4. And then Q, it is going to be 20, because we say 8 plus 4, 12, 12 plus 4, 16, 16 plus 4, 20. And then on part B, write down the 10th line of this pattern. So already we are given 4 lines of the pattern. The 5th line is going to be 7 squared. 6th is going to be 8 squared. 7th, 9 squared. 8th, 10 squared. And then the 10th line is going to be 12 squared. So we say 12 squared minus 10 squared is equal to 44. And 44 is equal to 4 times 11. So make sure that you practice questions on patterns. It is all about understanding the patterns that is being followed on that question. Let us proceed to number 20. Number 20, it was a question on linear programming. It is saying find the 3 inequalities that define the unshaded region in the diagram above. So this first simple one is that one, which is having a horizontal line that is passing through -4 in the y-axis, right? So that line is going to be named y is equal to -4. After that, we can see that the region that is shaded is region that is less than. So it means that the wanted region is going to be greater than. So we write y is greater than or equal to -4 since the line is bold. And then we want to write the inequality for that broken slanting line. What you need to do is here, you need to find n coordinates that are lying on that line. So here I selected that one which is having -3 in the x-axis and -4 in the y-axis. And then another coordinate is 0, 1. That is 0 in the x-axis and 1 in the y-axis. After that, we then find the gradient. Gradient for those 2 coordinates is change in y over change in x. So -4 minus 1, we get positive. We get -5, right? And then -3 minus 0, we get -3. -5 divided by -3, we are going to get positive 5/3. And that line is crossing y-axis at 1. So when we are writing our equation, we are going to say y is equal to 5/3x plus 1. And then they have shaded the region that is above, which means that the region that is below is the wanted region, right? So we are going to say y is less than 5/3x plus 1. The reason why we are saying it is strictly less than is that we are having a broken line. And then lastly, we need to interpret that inequality, that is slanting line, that is bold, right? We need to find n2 coordinates that are lying in that line. So I have selected 4, 0 and 0, 4. We find the gradient. It is going to be change in y over change in x. 0 minus 4 over 4 minus 0. We are going to get our gradient is -1. So when we are writing our equation, we then say y is equal to -x plus 4. And then they have shaded the region that is greater than. So it means that the wanted region is going to be less than. So we say y is less than or equal to -x plus 4. So make sure that you understand how to interpret inequalities. Let us proceed to number 21. So number 21, it is saying on the diagram O is the origin. Vectors A and B are shown in the diagram. Write down in terms of A and or B the position vector of the point P. So when we are saying position vector, we are relating the position of the vector. For example, the position of P relative to the origin, right? So the position vector of point P, it is going to be 3 minus 1. What it means that to move from the origin to where the point P is, we are going to count 3 boxes in the positive x direction, and then we are going to count 1 box downwards, right? So that is why we are having that 3 minus 1. And then we move on to PR. Want to move on to PR, right? We want to move from P to R. So when we calculate PR, it is vector R minus vector P, because we say where we are going minus where we are coming from. We are coming from P going to R, right? So we are going to say R minus P. So first, let us calculate vector R. For R, we are going to move 1 step to the x direction in the negative side. That is why we are having that minus 1. And then we move 2 steps upwards. That is why we are having positive 2. And then we then say OR minus OP, which we calculated before. It is going to be minus 1 minus 3. We get minus 4. And then 2 minus minus 1, we get positive 3. So it means that our vector PR is going to be minus 4a plus 3b. And then on part 3, we are supposed to find PR minus QR. So the first step is that we first need to calculate QR. To calculate QR, we are going to say vector R minus vector Q. We want calculated vector R. So right now, let us calculate vector Q. For vector Q, we have moved 1 step in the negative x direction, and also we have moved 1 step in the y direction downwards. So it is going to be minus 1 minus 1. We say minus 1 minus minus 1, we get 0. 2 minus minus 1, we get positive 3. And then now to say PR minus QR, for PR we once obtained minus 4a plus 3b, and then for QR we get 0 and 3. So we are going to say minus 4a minus 0, we get minus 4a, 3b minus 3b, we get 0. So it means that our final answer is going to be minus 4a. And then next part of the question, it is saying if modulus of b is equal to 4, write down the value of modulus of QR. So we are saying for our QR we get 0.3b, isn't it? So from the modulus of QR, we are going to say 3 times modulus of b. So it means that our QR is going to be 3 times 4, so that we are going to obtain 12 is our final answer. And then number 22, it was a question on mensuration. It is saying calculate in terms of pi the area of the shaded part. So we are going to say area of the whole sector minus area of the unshaded sector that is inside. So the whole angle, it is going to be 50, and then for the smaller triangle it is 30. So we say 50 over 360 pi times 12 squared minus 30 over 360 times pi times 6 squared. The question is requiring us to write in terms of pi, So 20 pi minus 3 pi, we are going to get our final answer is 17 pi square centimeters. And then the perimeter of the shaded region, we need to find the length of arc AB, the length of DC, and then we add 6 and 6, 12 and 12. That is going to be the perimeter of the shaded region. So the length of large arc, it is 50 over 360 times 2 pi r. So we are going to get 3 and 3 pi. And then for the small arc, it is 30 over 360 times 2 times pi times 6, which is equal to 1 pi. And then we need now to add everything. 3 and 3 pi plus 1 pi plus 12 plus 12 plus 6 plus 6. We are going to get our final answer is 4 and 3 pi plus 36. Let us proceed to number 23. Number 23, it was a question on velocity time graph. It is saying in the diagram, the velocity time graph of a train journey between two stations, we're supposed to find maximum speed of the train in kilometers per hour. So the maximum speed is that horizontal line that is at the top, where I've labeled maximum speed. So it is going to be 1.5 kilometer per minute. And then we need to convert that 1.5 kilometers per minute in kilometers per hour. So it is very simple. We are going to say in 1 minute we cover 1.5 kilometers. What about in 1 hour, which is going to have 60 minutes? We say 1.5 times 60 in order to get our final answer is 90 kilometers per hour. And then part B, the train's acceleration in the first half minute. So acceleration is final velocity minus initial velocity over time taken. So final velocity is that 1.5 kilometer per minute, and then initial is 0, and then time taken is half minute. So it is going to be 3 kilometers per minute squared. And then part C, it is saying the distance the train travels at maximum speed. When it comes to a velocity time graph, the distance is going to be the area under the graph. So when it is traveling at a constant maximum speed, we are going to have the area under that region is a rectangle. So we say length times width. Our length is going to be 2 minus half, which is 1.5, and our width is 1.5. So we are going to say 1.5 times 1.5 in order to get 2.25 kilometers. And then part G, it is requiring us to find the distance between the stations. So we are going to say distance is equal to area. The area of that portion of the graph is a trapezium, and for area of trapezium, the area is half a plus b times height. So the first length, it is going to be 3, the one that is at the bottom, and then the one that is at the top, we say 2 minus half in order to get 1.5. So we say half times 3 plus 1.5, and our height is 1.5. We are going to get our final answer is 3.375 kilometers. So make sure that you are perfect when it comes to velocity time graphs or kinematics. Let us now proceed to number 24. We are about to wind off the paper. It was saying write down the geometrical weight which completes the following statement. A, B, C, D is A. It is known as a cyclic quadrilateral. A cyclic quadrilateral is the one that is having all its corner points touching the circumference. And then next question, we're supposed to find the values of OBC. So here for psychogeometry to be easier topic to you, you should be able to complete first before looking at the questions. For example, here, this is how we are going to complete. We can find the angle OAB because we are having that isosceles triangle. Isosceles triangle is going to have two sides which are equal and also two angles which are equal. So we say 180 minus 130 divided by 2 in order to get 25 on OAB and also on OBA, right? That is how we get those 225. And then we are going to extend our line from C till it reaches the center so that we now have a radius. Again, what we are going to do here, we are given our TCB is 45 degrees and they are indicating that these are parallel lines. So you should note that parallel lines, they form at angles which are equal. So OBC is going to be 45 degrees because parallel lines, they form at angles which are equal. And then we now have an isosceles triangle. It is supposed to have two sides and two angles which are equal. So on OCB, we now have another 45. And then from BOC, we are now going to say 180 minus 45 plus 45 in order to get 90 degrees. And then to find AOC, we then say 360 minus 130 plus 90, we get 140. And then to find ADC, we say opposite angles of cyclic quad are supplementary, which means they sum to 180. So we say 180 minus 25 plus 45 in order to get 220. So that is how we are going to get all the marks on number 24. Let us now proceed to number 25, which is the final question. It was a question on probability. First part, we are supposed to complete the probability tree diagram that is shown above. Here we are having big A, probability is half. So for B, it is going to be half again. Why? Because on each and every branch, we are supposed to get 1. So if we say half plus half, we get 1. And then on A, the probability of picking white ball is 5/8. So the probability of picking black ball is going to be 3/8 because we say 1 minus 5/8 in order to get 3/8. And then on B, the probability of picking white ball is 6/8. The probability of picking black ball is going to be 2/8. That is how we are going to complete the probability tree diagram. And then on part B, find the probability that Dennis chooses big A and then a white ball. So what we are going to do here, we are going to just follow our probability tree diagram. Probability of picking big A is half, and then probability of picking white ball from big A is 5/8. So we say half times 5/8 in order to get 5/16. Finally, it is saying find the probability that Dennis picks a white ball. Either he's going to pick from big A or he's going to pick from big B. Probability of picking white ball in big A is half times 5/8, and probability of picking white ball in big B, it is half times 6/8, which is equal to 6/16. And then we add our probabilities in order to get 11/16. So this marks the end of our revision on Maths Paper 1 that was written in November 2011. Thank you so much, guys, for following me on this channel. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share my videos. All the best in your Maths Paper 1 preparation. I love you all. This is Eve signing out.